So in last night's game plan, I made it very clear that I was planning to buy call options at the 575 level for a bull rally, for a surge within the market. I decided to wait until the power hour trading session to execute at that 575 level. I ended up making 3 trades on SPY call options. In terms of the first trade, it was a 50% win on SPY 576 calls. In terms of the second trade, it was a 100% win on 5785 SPX calls. In terms of the third trade, it was a 400% plus win on 5780 calls. All 3 strikes on the call side during power hour ended up working out. I ended up selling the exact peak on all 3 of those strikes. I'm going to be breaking down the reasoning in terms of the confirmations on why I decided to buy call options during that power hour trading session at the 575 level. As you guys know, we're not just blindly trading at levels. We are using confirmations. In terms of the confirmations, every single one of you who watched the past 2 videos from start to finish should have been in on call options because I gave you the level and the confirmation was there. What were the confirmations to be buying call options at 575? In terms of the foundation, I explained to you the reasoning in the last video why I wanted to buy call options at 575. Not going to be going over that, right? So you have to go back and watch the last video. Now, in terms of confirming that the level was actually going to work, because we're not just blindly trading out levels, executing trades, very simple. You had the 3 slanted red candlesticks, right? So if you go back to here on this day, October 8th, 24, you're going to see the SPY had a bullish slanted uptrend. And the same thing happened today. The SPY had a bullish slanted uptrend, right? And then you had these 3 slanted red 30-minute candlesticks. Then you had these 3 slanted red 30-minute candlesticks. Look at all of the wicks. Look at all of the strong support on the 30-minute chart at the 575 level. So in terms of this pattern, as you can see, next 30 minutes, SPY has a small drop under that 30-minute previous close, and then it starts to go up for an hour straight with very strong bullish 30-minute closing candlesticks, retesting the highs of the wicks, starting to retest highs of wicks, right? That was the reasoning behind confirming the trade of actually executing at the 575 level. And there was even confirmations to buy into that 575 level earlier into the trade, earlier into the day. But you guys are well aware that I prefer to wait until towards power hour trading session. That's the best time to be trading. But with that being said, in terms of other confirmations to be buying call options at this level, we went over this in last night's video. This red candlestick in the middle, and then the next 30 minutes is green and bullish. This red candlestick in the middle, and then the next 30 minutes is bullish. This happened yesterday, which was the reasoning behind buying calls yesterday. I explained this all in last night's video. This red bearish candlestick in the middle, green bullish next 30 minutes. Red bearish candlestick in the middle, green bullish next 30 minutes. You could have been playing call options multiple times towards the opening of this 30-minute candlestick after the red one closed, right? Towards that 575 level to ride it up to fill the gap below. And then the SPY ended up having a gap close reversal at the 577 level. It really started to come down once it formed that red bearish 30-minute confirmation, and then the red green red bearish pattern starting to sell off more to test the 575. That's how you should have read the market in terms of today. Now, in terms of the new levels, it's going to be very simple. For call options heading into tomorrow, I have 2 levels of interest. The first level is going to be to buy call options towards the lows of the day. So in terms of the low of the day, as you can see right here, it's at 574.50. I'm going to be very interested in buying call options towards under 575. And the 2 levels I'm looking at, the zone, 574.50 and 573.80. That's going to be the overall zone, man. I'm telling you, 573.80, this previous resistance right over here. And then towards the lows, 574.50. Based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, if the SPY goes back to that zone, tomorrow is likely going to be a very good opportunity to buy call options. Again, don't just blindly trade at the levels. Use confirmations. In terms of the main confirmation that I've been using, it's been the 30-minute chart. If you wait for the 30-minute candlesticks to form the proper patterns, it works extremely well for trading the trend. For trading trend reversals, it works phenomenal, man. I'm telling you, this is the best base to have, that 30-minute candlestick. Now, in terms of the put options, based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, In terms of a short-term pattern, that has been working very, very well. When the SPY breaks above new all-time highs, it tends to have a short-term pullback after a 2-point breakout above the new all-time highs. And I'm also seeing on the daily chart, again, so in terms of how I came up with these levels, it was mainly looking at the 10-day, 30-minute chart and also looking at the daily chart. But we're going to go with the measured move. So 570, 77, 71 is the all-time highs. In terms of measuring over the move, what we're going to call it is 580, 580, 50, and 581, right? Those are going to be the zones to be buying put options heading into tomorrow for a nice little bull trap if we're getting the red bearish 30-minute confirmations. Do not just blindly trade the levels. It's very important to trust the levels, but you're going to want to use a confirmation at the level, right? Some people, they let emotions and FOMO get the best of them and they don't use any confirmations at the level. And then they wonder why the level doesn't fucking work because they're not using a confirmation. Who do you think is going to do better? The trader who just gets in blindly at the level or the trader who uses a confirmation at the level? Now, like I said, there is certain situations where in terms of trusting the levels, I will just get in automatically at the level, right? And I will let you know if it's an automatic level. Like in terms of an automatic level where I would literally just get in, 570. If we drop to 570 to 569.50, as very likely I would just automatically buy call options. But in terms of, just a more safe, confirmed way of trading, just wait for proper confirmations, right? Auto levels is a bit more advanced in terms of just getting in a sense, right? But like I said, man, that's the game plan. Very, very short, very, very simple, very, very sweet. Now, with that being said, I gave you the best levels for puts. I gave you the best levels for calls. Very, very simple stuff heading into tomorrow, right? I'm telling you, if we're hitting those new all-time highs, it's setting up for an overall bull trap as long as we are getting bearish confirmations. Again, based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, you need those confirmations if you're going to play puts. If we're having a strong gap up heading into tomorrow at the open, it could likely just keep on running up. That's why I'm saying, especially if this gap's up heading into tomorrow, this is another daily chart pattern that I'm seeing. The SPY is likely going to continue to try to run. So be extremely cautious with puts if we're experiencing a massive gap up tomorrow, right? But in terms of the call options, when I'm preparing these videos, for the most part, I really like to focus on the oversold, buying opportunities for the calls. So I gave you the oversold levels, 574.50 and, 573.80, right? And then all-time highs, we're going to continue with that measured move because it's just been working so well in terms of recent history, that 580 to 580.50 to 581. Now, let's get into the trades, man. So in terms of the trades that we ended up making today, we ended up going 6 for 6 with a 100% success rate buying cheap, far low risk, out of money option contracts. As you can see, in terms of the trades that GROAR ended up making today. So these are the trades that we made. This is the morning trade right here. You're going to see 573 puts at 65 cents, right? And they quickly went up to 81 cents a contract. And then in terms of the second trade at 11:47 a.m., as you can see right here, 578 calls for 32 cents a contract. And then in terms of this exit, you can see right here at 12:17 p.m., set profit stops. That was at the exact peak of those overall calls. If you set the profit stops, everyone should have been stopped out in the mid 50 cent range, right? So that was a very nice overall 100% gain on that second trade. In terms of showing you, I'm going to show you here real quick. So in terms of that overall trade on the 578 calls, you're going to see we got in towards the exact lows on that trade. So this is where we ended up getting in. And then in terms of when to set the profit stop, you set the profit stop here, right? And then you get stopped out for overall profit. So with that being said, that's 2 for 2 right there. And then in terms of the third win on the day, it was 576 SPY calls. GROAR ended up getting in at 21 cents a contract, and he ended up selling at the exact peak at 65 cents a contract, man. We fused on that overall last trade. Now, I'm going to walk you through the trades that I ended up making towards that power hour trading session, right? So in terms of my SPY calls, I ended up getting in a little bit too early. In terms of the first trades, it more had to do so of the specific entry. I was studying throughout, the history of today on how well the SPY was bouncing at the 575 level. And like I said, there was 2 confirmations on the 30-minute chart. If you watch the past 2 videos with these short-term trends on the 30-minute chart, you should have been saying, very interested in call options at 575, red bearish candlestick in the middle, buy calls towards the opening of next 30-minute candle, sell the rip, right? Because this candlestick right here is identical to this candlestick right here. This candlestick right here is identical to this candlestick right here. Next 30 minutes, it bottoms at the previous 30-minute low, bottoms towards the previous 30-minute low, bottoms towards the previous 30-minute low, green and bullish, and there's also a gap to fill above at 577, which was another reason to be bullish, man. If we're forming support and holding for 2 fucking hours at the 575 level with the green, red, green pattern, it's going to explode up and fill the gap above. So those are all the confirmations that I've been teaching you within these videos, and we trade these in real time, man. But in terms of the call options, like I said, 575 was the key level. You had the 3 slanted red candles, right? And that was a recent pattern, 3 slanted red candles. And then the SPY pushes higher, and then the SPY starts to push higher, right? So in terms of the trades that I ended up making on my own personal trades, 2:23 p.m., I ended up buying these SPY 576 calls at 45 cents a contract. So like I said, on the first strikes, I got in a bit too early, but that didn't stop me from holding the trades. On these trades, you put in your max risk per trade at the most, right? And if it doesn't work out, you just let it expire, go to worthless, or you can sell the moves if you like. But I was playing for a very strong overall close. So in this situation, I just wanted to hold the overall trade and let the contracts ride out, right? So in terms of the first 2 trades, I got in too early, but I ended up making over a 50% profit return on these SPY calls. And then on the SPX calls, I made 100% profit return, even though I got in too early. And then on the last strike, I tell you all the time, if I'm doing 3 strikes on the same side, the second and third one is always going to be better, right, than the first, in a sense. So I ended up buying SPY 576 calls right here at 45 cents. In terms of these calls that I ended up buying, they dropped. Look at how big these dropped. These dropped all the way down to 12 cents. And we held them because I told you all the time, 70% of the time, the dead plays are going to come back to life. If we're down 50, 60, 70% on a trade, and it makes sense for us to hold, we're just going to hold. The most we lose is our max risk per trade. These contracts are very cheap, very low risk. So when these were at 12 fucking cents, I just held the contracts. Now, I did end up averaging my cost down on this specific trade. In terms of SPY tends to be fairly safe in terms of averaging down certain situations. SPX, I tend to avoid averaging my cost down. In that situation, I'll just pick up a new strike in that sense, right? But I ended up averaging my cost down at this 29 cent mark right here towards this 2:32 p.m. time frame. So as you can see right here, everything is alerted 100% in real time in terms of what it is that I'm doing. I ended up adding at 30 cents a contract on these. That got my average down from 45 cents to 40 cents a contract. And I held them. And you're going to see we sold the exact peak, man. G-War and I, we literally sold at like the exact same fucking time. It was crazy, man. So with that being said, I made it very clearly at 2:48 p.m. that the bull rally was set to surge at 575. That was the exact title of my video yesterday that I posted a day before, the market opened, where the market bottomed. And in terms of, with that being said, made it very clear that SPY was bottoming out at 3:18 p.m. And then in terms of the next trades, so these 5,785 calls, man, I bought these 5,785 calls. It's very rare you're going to see me get an SPX this early. But the contracts were just so fucking cheap, man. I couldn't believe on how cheap the SPX contracts were at this time. So I told myself, I have to get in. It's likely going to be too early, but I'll just buy another strike. But when I was looking at these prices and I was looking at the times, to me, this was a very good fucking deal. But since I'm getting in so early, it's likely meaning that, in terms of the time, I'm getting in fairly early. And there was a lack of confirmation. The true confirmation was at 3 p.m. when the 30-minute candle form that 90-minute bearish trend, right? I was getting into early because it was just holding so strong at the 575 level. It looked like it wanted to close strong. And the contracts were just so fucking cheap. That's why, another reason, man, SPX is usually not this cheap. I didn't even go super far out in a sense, but this was fairly cheap at 115 a contract. Now, with that being said, I ended up getting out of those towards the 200 cent range for 100%. And then in terms of the 5,780, this was the final trade on the day. So on the 5,780 SPX calls at 115, this I timed perfectly. Like I said, man, you're going to see me trade best during the power hour trading session. This was the only trade that I technically made during the power hour trading session. Power hour starts at 3 p.m. The other 2 trades, I got in a bit too early. There was lack of confirmation, but I liked the level. I liked how the chart was setting up, and I liked the prices of the contracts. And I'm well aware, if those 2 SPY trades didn't work out, well, during power hour, I'll make it all back. If I lose 100% on 2 trades, I'm down 200% on those 2 trades combined. And then the next trade on SPX, I'll make a 300, 400, 500% return. I'm net positive. Learn how to position size. Learn how to trade the best steps to best prices. Look at this. All 3 fucking strikes worked. I always tell you, if I'm playing the same side and I'm going with 2 and 3 strikes, the second and third will always be the fucking best. So in certain situations, I'll even size in a little bit bigger on the second or third strike. And in terms of, how my trades tend to go, the later into the day, they tend to just keep on getting better, especially if I'm trading the overall same side, right? So the first ones I got in a bit early, but 5780 SPX calls at 115 cents a contract at 3:30 p.m. and I'm holding the other two strikes. I'm in 3 strikes now. I only need 1 strike to go up 200% to be net positive on the fucking day. All 3 strikes ended up working out. Now, with that being said, 5780, I bought these right here towards the exact fucking lows. How many times does this happen this week where I literally buy 2 or 3 strikes towards the power hour trading session? The first 1 or 2, I'm in a little bit too early, but I hold them and I still sell for a very nice percentage win. Like fucking 50%, 100%, 150%. But that second and third strike, it's the best entry. It's timed nearly fucking perfectly, man. It's waiting. I'm telling you, the later you late to trade, the better the trades are going to be, man. If I take 3 trades, 1 at 3 p.m., 1 at 3:30 p.m., and 1 at 3:50 p.m., odds are, if they're all on the same side, the one at 3:50 p.m. is going to make the biggest percentage gains, which is why in most situations, I'll even size in a little bit bigger. Not that I have to, because the percentage gains always outweigh the losses. The percentage gains are always going to outweigh having a low win rate. But over here, we have a 90% fucking percent win rate. All 3 fucking strikes worked. The SPY calls were down fucking like 60, 70, 80%. The fucking SPX calls dropped like 60, 70%. They all came back to life and went in the money. Did I need that? No, because look, I have this trade on SPX right here. I'm in right here at 100 a contract in 1 fucking minute. All that fucking time holding, we were holding those fucking calls for an hour and a half. In 1 fucking minute, the move happens. 1 fucking minute, an hour and 30 minutes, 1 fucking minute, the big move happens. Taking us down in terms of those SPY calls, we're down like 50, 60, 70, 80%. 1 minute, oh shit, we're up 50%, we're up 100%. I'm telling you, it's the power hour trading session. Holding until the close is a fucking game changer, man. You got to use a real broker to trade this way. Don't go using Robinhood. Don't go, messing with Robinhood or anything like that. Use a real broker who's designed to trade options, to day trade and scout borrow the money option contracts who aren't going to cut your contracts off at 3:30 p.m., right? So with that being said, we sold the exact fucking peak, man. As soon as this ripped to 6 fucking hundred, we got out at 500 a contract, man. 1 to 500, 400% plus gain. The other 2 trades worked out. If they didn't, we still would have been up very, very nicely on the overall day, man. If you have 2 losses, right? And they all go to 0, minus 200%. And then you have 1 fucking 400% winner. You're net positive 200%, man. Learn how to trade the percentages, man. This is what they don't teach you. Everyone's trading in fucking dollars, man. I'm telling you, if you learn how to trade the percentages, the win rate does not fucking matter. And you can make multiple trades, and 1 trade is going to outweigh all those fucking losses, man. I'm telling you, man. But you got to hold. You got to hold your fucking trades, man. Like I said, when I was down 50, 60, 70%, I didn't get stopped out. I said I'm holding till the fucking close. I'm playing, and I'm holding for a close, for a strong moving close within my favor. But that thesis was really strong developed at 3 p.m. But I stuck with the level, and I stuck with the thesis, right? So in terms of the sell, I ended up selling at the exact peak, man. At 3:55 p.m., I ended up selling those at 500 a contract, and I made it very, very clear as this was going up at 3:54 p.m. Every strike is fucking up. Sell. Those 2 strikes before that, we were down like 60, 70, 80%. The SPY calls were up 50% at this time. The SPX calls were up 100% plus at this time, and I made it very, very clear. This is the time to sell. Every strike is fucking up. And I sold it all. I sold it all at 3:54 p.m., man. It's crazy. And then GWAR sold at 3:55 p.m. We fucking killed this play, man. So that's what I'm telling you, man. That's what we do. We prepare the levels a day in before. When the level hits, we wait for a confirmation, man. If you didn't see that fucking confirmation, you are truly fucking blind, man. Like, I don't know how much more simpler it can possibly fucking get. In the video yesterday, I explained to you the recent trends of what the market has been doing. Like, don't you remember within the video yesterday where I was talking about, you have this red bearish candlestick in the middle, and then the next 30 minutes, the SPY bottoms towards the previous low of the 30 minutes, right? And it has a green bullish 30 minutes, meaning you buy calls. And then you have this red bearish candlestick in the middle, Next 30 minutes, the SPY bottoms, right? Towards the previous 30 minutes, green and bullish. And then you have this red bearish candlestick in the middle. It bottoms towards the previous 30 minutes. Red bearish candlestick in the middle. It bottoms towards the previous 30 minutes. Red bearish candlestick in the middle. It bottoms, right? Previous 30 minutes, right of the lows. It bottoms. It keeps on fucking happening. This is why I tell you all the time to analyze the 10-day, 30-minute chart. This is fucking golden, man. Look at this. It's the same fucking trend. A slanted bullish uptrend. Green, red, green. Bullish confirmations. The red bearish candlestick. All reasons to be buying fucking calls at the 570 fucking 5, right? But the best risk to reward, where the contracts are cheaper, is going to be the power hour trading session. You don't have to be buying call options right here. The best fucking time to buy them is during the power hour trading session, man. Look at the confirmation. Slanted red 90 minutes, slanted red 90 minutes, right? This green bullish candlestick right here, slanted red 90 minutes, goes up for multiple hours, right? And then you have this green bullish candlestick right here, slanted for 90 minutes, goes up for multiple hours. It's even trending up during the extended hours following this fucking plan, man. Trading is so fucking simple. People complicate it. That's why they lose fucking money. People have levels. They have no fucking discipline to wait for the perfect confirmation at the fucking level, right? Like these people who bought puts, man. I was laughing at them. We were literally laughing in the fucking chat. Why the fuck were people buying puts? I posted in this video, I'm interested in buying puts at 575. Why the fuck were people buying puts at the level when the SPY is nothing but a green bullish slanted fucking uptrend with nothing but green bullish 30-minute confirmations? Do you want to buy puts into this green bullish 30-minute fucking confirmations? You can't wait for a red bearish fucking confirmation? It's like, dude, people have no patience. They just blindly trade at levels. And like I said, it gets more advanced. There are certain trades where I will, in a sense, just blindly get in at a level. But I know, is that the best thing to do? Absolutely fucking not. But that's more advanced, man. It's just in certain situations, it's likely to work first at the level. But like I said, some tricks to that is it hits the level for the first time. So you're prepared for it. So like I said, when this level hits for the first time, this 569.50 to 570, based off of what I've seen throughout the recent chart history, it recently happened, it's likely gonna fucking bounce first, right? But does that mean that you just blindly close? Well, you can try. You can try to just get in using that. I'm just saying, the safe way and the best way is the confirmation, but the auto buy levels are very rare. Those are very rare to come by in very rare situations, but it does get to a level of where it's more advanced, where it does make sense to just get in a sense, man. It also has something to do with just stops getting triggered out because we know where all your fucking stop losses are. So it's fairly easy in a sense if you know what it is that you're doing. But like I said, it takes over 10 fucking years, man. For me to figure this out, where I'm making a 400% return on SPX, it took me fucking 10 years to get to that level of trading. Over 10 fucking years to start making multiple 100% profit returns during SPX. That's how fucking long it took me to figure out. So with that being said, man, if you're serious about making money, if you want to surround yourself with a team who's mastered zero-day options trading, you just need to understand you need to use a broker who allows you to trade this type of way. Robinhood ain't gonna fucking work, man. If you're using Robinhood, stay the fuck away from this, especially during the power hour trading session, right? The brokers I recommend, Thinkorswim, Interactive Brokers. Do your research on brokers who allow you to actively get in and out with options trading, especially during the power hour trading session, right? So Interactive Brokers and Thinkorswim, you can look into those options. Now, with that being said, if you're serious about trading alongside with us and you're serious about getting access to a real-time zero-day options trading alert system, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You gain access to an updated morning game plan. You gain access to our real-time trade alerts. And then in terms of our system, it's very simple. We don't use stop losses. On 2 trades for call options, I was down 50, 60, 70%. I did not get stopped out because we don't set stop losses. We don't need to set a stop loss because the max risk that we put into these contracts is our max risk per trade. Therefore, there's no need to worry if they expire and go to zero and expire fucking worthless, because at the very most, we lose our max risk per trade. If you are not comfortable with losing your max risk per trade, then don't fucking trade. Because as a trader, you need to be comfortable in a sense to lose at the very least your max risk per trade, right? So that could be 1% of your account, it could be 2% of your account. It depends on how much capital you have and how much you're willing to risk on that overall trade, right? But in terms of these contracts, these are the cheapest and lowest barrier risk to entry. And this is a game of percentages, right? These cheap low risk contracts allow us to turn the market into a game of percentages where we can be extremely successful and extremely profitable with a very low win rate. We have an extremely high win rate because we're the best at this trading style. Do we need that high win rate? Absolutely not. Because we understand risk management 101 and we understand the percentage gains are always going to outweigh the losses, right? If those two contracts went to zero, right? That's a 200% net loss. So my next fucking trade on SPX went up 400%. That means net positive, I'm up 200% with a 33% win rate. But we're so fucking good that we were 3 for fucking 3 in terms of my personal trading, and GWAR was 3 for fucking 3, man. Look at this, man. Every single fucking strike was up. If you go to 576 calls, these went all the way up when we sold the fucking peak. Right here, look at this. They had two spikes. Right here at 63 cents and right here at 76 cents. My average was 40 cents. And then even the SPX 5785 play, right? My average was 115 right here. And they went all the way to 250. We sold the exact peak right here, 3:53 p.m. We got out at the exact fucking peak. Look at how fast you had to fucking sell. It's no fucking joke. During that power hour trading session, in 1 fucking minute, the contracts went from 50 cents to 2.50. You don't have a lot of time to sell, but if you're actively trading in the market and you trade during the power hour trading session and you're using a real broker, I gave the fucking seller, you sell the fucking trade. It just spiked from fucking 50 cents to 250. It just spiked 450. It's just like 400% fucking plus in minutes. Sell the fucking trade. Take the fucking gains. Why? Because this can quickly go back out of the money and lose all the fucking gains, man. Take the gains. You didn't have a lot of time, but we took the fucking gains, man. It was crazy. The chat was on fucking fire, man. So, like I said, we don't use stop losses. I don't believe in stop losses, right? I mean, we'll hunt people's stop losses. We know exactly where everyone's going to get fucked, where everyone's going to get fucking stopped out, right? People are getting stopped out because they ain't trading like us. Options give you options. Far the money options give you the most options. With far the money options, they're so fucking cheap and low risk. You can hold the trades, right? You can actually hold the trades and they can go in the money later, right? Look at how fucking long it took for all three of those trades to go in the fucking money, man. We were getting fucking hurt with SPY barely fucking moving and all the fucking theta decay. But all we need is 1 out of 3 to go up fucking over 200% to be positive on 2 fucking losses. Do you understand that? 1 for 3. If you make 3 fucking trades, all you need is 1 of them to go up 200% to be net fucking positive. Like, man, why isn't everyone else fucking doing this? Because this is the hardest style of trading to master, and they don't teach you this, man. Nobody teaches you this. This shit took me over 10 fucking years to figure out. So we don't set stop losses. We set profit stops. And the reason why we set profit stops is it ensures that we don't go green to red on a trade. If you're green on a trade and you set a profit stop, that means that you're not going to go green to red. You're going to get stopped out for a profit, right? But for some reason, everyone talks about stop losses. They prefer to lose. They want to get stopped out for a fucking loss. So us over here, we do the complete opposite. We have no fucking stop losses. We put in our max risk per trade. We let the fucking contracts expire worthless. Sometimes if it makes sense, we're going to sell the move. But me personally, if SPY's sitting at my 575 level with a bullish confirmation at 3 p.m., why the fuck would I sell if I'm down? This has an hour to go in the fucking money during the most volatile time of the trading day, and there's a bullish reversal pattern. Why the fuck would I exit? If anything, I could just hold, sell in the money, and then as there's more confirmations later into the day, we know key times, we can take advantage of SPX, man. Buy SPY first, take advantage of SPX later into the day past 3:30 p.m., run up that new strike for 300 to 500%, sometimes 1,000 to 2,000% in less than 30 fucking minutes during that power hour trading session. You can outperform any fucking trader within the market if you just trade during the power hour trading session. It offers the highest risk to reward ratio. Look at all of the holding and pain and suffering we had to go through before power hour, man. It's not the best time to be trading. But like I said, I got in because it was at my level and the contracts were super fucking cheap. But the confirmation, man, the confirmation in terms of a true confirmation, it wasn't until 3 p.m. You had the 3 slanted red. This candlestick closed right here at 3 fucking p.m. It wasn't until that 3 p.m. overall mark, man, to really start buying the dip on call options. That was the best confirmation, man. But sometimes I look to get in a little bit early if the contracts are just so fucking cheap and it's at my level, man. And I'm well aware, even if it didn't work out and that confirmation was still there, I'll make it all back on SPX in a sense, man, with another trade on SPX. So we set profit stops to ensure that we don't go, in terms of we set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red on a trade. it keeps us green, and we move the profit stops up, right? So the reason why you're going to want to move your profit stop up as the trade is going up in your favor, if the market has a big move against you, you don't want to get back the bulk of your gains and just be with a small little green win, right? You want to keep your gains, right? So you move the profit stop up. Now, me personally, I'm mainly just selling moves, man. That's my preference. You could set up profit stop for safety, that's fine. But my main preference is really just selling the moves, right? So with that being said, man, do what works best for you. If you're serious about trading with us, it's the first link down below within the description. We have the system and it works. If you want to try it, it's the first link down below within the description, right? So, in terms of coming into this group, you should have some experience, right? In terms of trading and stuff like that. I'm telling you, man, if you're serious about making money, it's the first link down below within the description. Just make sure you're using a broker who is designed to get in and out at the speed of fucking light, especially if you're trading that power hour session, man. But even in market open, make sure you have a broker that's designed to day trade options, because that's what we do, right? Robinhood, that's like investing. We're day trading options. We get in and out very fucking quickly, and that's worth paying a commission for. When a contract goes 50 cents to 250 cents in a fucking minute, you put in $50 and you sell at fucking $250 in a fucking minute. I think that's worth paying a commission. No, is that not worth paying a commission? Is that not worth getting the best fucking entries, right? And then some brokers, they cut you off at 3:30 fucking PM, man, in terms of your trades with the options. So just make sure you're using a broker who allows you to do this. Do your research. I gave you the brokers, man. When you're serious about making money, it's the first link down below within the description. All we do is print every single fucking day. All we do is fucking win. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. If you understand risk management 101 and you take the trades, you don't need a high fucking win rate, man. I explained it to you, man. One SPX trade, 400% win. 2 trades before that, you can lose 100%, 100%. You're up 200% net positive. And I'm typically even sizing in a little bit bigger, right? On that second to third strike, which is even going to put me up more on a day in a sense, right? If I enter 3 trades, on the day, right? Regardless if they're up or down, if I take 3 fucking trades and I'm on my 3rd fucking trade, I know this one's going to be the absolute best compared to the previous 2 that I just did. I'll usually look to size in, I would say, about like 30% bigger than the previous fucking sizes, especially if it's on the same fucking way. If I'm in 3 fucking calls, all for the same fucking play, that 3rd strike is going to be the best one likely. And then the second best one is likely going to be the 2nd strike. The closer we get towards expiration, the closer we get towards the end of the day, the better the trades should be. The more I'm trading, the more experience I'm gaining within the market in real time, the closer we get towards expiration, the better the plays, the biggest percentage gains. I'm telling you, past that 3:40 p.m. mark, 3:50 p.m. mark, those are going to be the best fucking trades on the overall day in terms of the trades that I'm making. So with that being said, it's the first link down below in the description. If you want to make fucking money, we have many members who are making over $500 a day. We have many members who are making over $1,000 a day. We have some members who are making over 5 figures a week, right? So if you want to surround yourself with our secured private organization and gain access to our trades, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. In terms of Thursdays and Fridays, this is where we're going to start showing more interest in terms of trading stocks for the stocks that are having their 0-date options getting ready to expire on Friday, right? So for those of you who are in the community, feel free to post your stocks within the community. We will take a look at the stocks, because I'm telling you, I like to trade the 0-date options on the stocks during that Friday session for the ones that have the 0-date options, right? So obviously, we like to focus on the volatile ones with some volume. So DJT, this is going to be one stock that I'm going to be watching very closely into tomorrow. Another stock that I'm going to be watching very closely into tomorrow is going to be MSTR and Tesla, SMCI, NVIDIA, right? So towards the end of the week, that's where we show interest towards trading the stocks, because that's when they're getting close towards that, 0-date, towards that expiration on the contracts, right? So we buy cheap VAR, low risk out of money option contracts. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We have the highest win rate doing this. We do not set stop losses. We set profit stops. We move the profit stops up to protect our profits, man. That's just some basics, man. When you get in here, you're going to see, man, nobody else out here is doing it like this, man. Who the fuck do you know is doing this? From my entries, 5785. These fucking SPX calls went up 150%. 5780 calls went up 500% from 1 to 6. 576 calls went up 80%, man. And Giro and I, we fused on that last fucking trade. It was crazy, man. He waited to buy a 576 strike when it was at a lower price. I got in way earlier before him, but once he got in on that 576 strike, that was right around the time where I got in on the 578 calls as well. It was a crazy fucking fuse, man. That last trade was a fuse. When him and I are in on that same fucking trade, you're always going to want to take it in a sense, man. It was fucking crazy, man. That SPX trade, I got in at 3:30 p.m. So he alerted that he was in the 576 calls at 3:22 p.m., right? These were the calls where I got in on my average at 40 cents. He waited later on throughout the day, like an hour later, he got in at 21 cents. And then 8 minutes after he bought these calls, I bought the SPX calls. I bought a new strike, and that went up 400%. And we sold the exact fucking peak, man. I alerted the sell at 3:53 to 3:54, and then he got out on his at 3:55 p.m. So in a sense, we fused on that last fucking trade, and it was insane, man. So if you're serious about trading with us, it's the first link down below within the description. It's nonstop fucking winning over here. I will see you guys tomorrow. We are going to close out the week very, very strong. You are well aware that Fridays are known for being our best fucking days within the market. I will see you guys tomorrow.